Hey, you guys, and welcome to another episode here on the Sweet Life Entrepreneur and Business Podcast. If you're watching the video episode behind the scenes, welcome to my podcast recording studio here at the Beach House. This is episode number 285, and so everything we're talking about can be found by visiting our website, sweetlifeco.com, cruising over to the podcast and searching for number 285. It is a super powerful episode. At the end of this, you are going to know how the power of moving from B to C to B to B can affect your business. We are diving in and we are unpacking how to actually take a $99 course and sell it for $99,000. And this is not pie in the sky. Nothing here that we talk about or teach or deliver on this show is in theory. These are all proven business strategies that have been accomplished before. And so that's why I want to bring you into this world. If you and I don't know each other yet, I'm April Beach, CEO of the Sweet Life Company, multiple company owners, and my area of expertise is helping establish subject matter experts, speakers, authors, coaches, and consultants scale your business by building million-dollar programs and content licensing programs. And specifically, that's what we are diving into today. So I have something very important I want to give you, and it's timely. Here's one of the benefits if you are an actual subscriber to this podcast. When you're a subscriber, we drop the shows as soon as they come out. So the recording of this show, the drop date of this show, let me look at my calendar, is going to be April 24th, 2023. So if you are listening to the show, it's April 24th, 2023, and you are a very, very timely person, I want you to go because I'm giving you something free, but you have to get it before April 30th, 2023. Okay, so let me say that clear. If you are here right now at the live drop or within the first week this show dropped, if you're a subscriber of this show, this is a reward for you for constantly listening to these episodes. We are going to give you a free gift. It is completely free access to my newest training called Licensing Launchpad, where I take you in depth through all the things I'm talking about today, and I give you the worksheets and the step-by-step process to accomplish it. And I'm actually giving you that to you totally free. But here's the deal. You have to go grab it before April 30th, 2023. You can go to licensinglaunchpad.com to download that right now. If you're here after April 30th, it is a really jam-packed, powerful, valuable training. And so you should still go grab it and pay the market value for it because holy moly, it is powerful. Okay, so let's talk about what we're actually talking about here today. The end result of what we're doing here today is setting you up, getting you to the launch pad to be able to license your programs. But most people don't even know what that actually means. And so I'm going to simplify these terms and I'm going to explain to you how you can absolutely do this, and you don't need to be some business ninja to do it. At the end of this episode, you are going to understand how you can actually go from selling to individuals to selling to companies. What I mean by that is you're going to understand the value of your training, and you're going to understand how you can get maybe finally out of the rat race of social marketing and social selling and having to build funnels and having to post every darn day on social media to selling your very valuable training to companies that have funding to buy it. So if you're ready for that and you're ready for the 3 steps to do this, come on this little short journey with me. And let's go ahead and let's dive in. Again, go grab the free tool or the very low cost tool if you're listening to this by visiting licensinglaunchpad.com, and it's going to help you even more implement what we talk about today. Okay, so who is this for? Here's the deal. If you are like many people, many coaches, consultants, experts, speakers who entered the online business space in the last couple of years, maybe you entered it with COVID, you came into online consulting, you took your area of expertise, and maybe you took a course on how to create courses, and you've come into this online world. Well, there are 2 brick walls that people are really hitting when they get into this online space. Number 1, not generating enough sales. And number 2, not actually realizing how much marketing skill that you may have needed to make all of your hard work of developing those courses, trainings, and programs successful. In order to be a successful scaling coach, consultant, speaker, author, you typically need to understand funnels and social selling and online marketing. And many experts who've come into this space in the last 3 to 5 years either weren't prepared for the knowledge they needed to have to be successful in the marketing space, or didn't come equipped to hire that out. Okay? And so what we have is we have a bundle. Tell me if this is you. Send me a social message if this is you. We have a bundle of incredible established experts. You guys are really good at what you do. You have taken the time, you have put in the effort, you have built the courses, you have built the trainings, you have built your framework, you have built your methodology, and then maybe it's just sitting on this shelf collecting dust. Maybe it hasn't sold for the volume that you wanted it to sell for. But here, let me just speak to you really quick. That does not take away from how amazing you are. It doesn't take away from how great you are at your area of expertise, right? At teaching what only you can teach because of your years or decades of experience and your knowledge to get where you could be to develop that amazing course or training program. And so first, I want to say that not maybe understanding or executing online marketing, or the fact that you might not have a huge social following or whatever that is not a reflection of how awesome you are and how great your program is. So just let that soak in if you're listening and maybe you haven't accomplished all you wanted to from a sales standpoint, okay? And now let's talk about what we can do about that. I want to talk to you about how we take, and this is in theory, 99 to 99, it's a cool play on words, but basically what I'm saying is how we take your course that's individually priced at, let's say, $99 or $999, and we actually sell it for $99,000 or $1 million. This is what we can do when we change who you're selling it to. Instead of selling it in bulk, to individuals in the masses, we sell it once with a bulk number of seats or tickets to one buyer. So let me say that again, because I kind of messed it up and didn't say it as clearly as I wanted to the first time. Instead of taking your course or training and having to sell it to a bunch of people, instead, I want you to understand how you can take that same training that might be collecting dust and sell it to one person for 10 times more money. Does that make sense to you? Okay, so this is the process that's called content licensing or IP licensing, or licensing your training or licensing your course. And there's a lot of legal lingo in here that most people don't understand. As a matter of fact, interesting fun fact, a lot of companies that want to license your program don't even realize that these are the terms for this type of arrangement. You might have even been approached by a company that wants to bring in your course or training, and they don't even know that this is the actual legal structure of what we're talking about. So I want to equip you to know that so you can move forward in this. So we're going to dive into 3 steps here for you to move forward in this direction. And again, dig into Licensing Launchpad. It is a short 45-minute, 5-part video training that's going to take you through every one of these steps with some amazing worksheets and just like so much gold in there. So go over to licensinglaunchpad.com and grab that too. But here's high level as an introduction for you and I just sitting here hanging out today. So the very first thing I want you to do is I want you to do what I call conduct an asset inventory. So I want you to go back and I want you to look at all of the trainings that you've created. Hey, maybe it's just one course you've built or one training. It also doesn't have to be a finished product course. That's really important. I want you to understand this. If you have developed a method or a framework or a system or a process that gets people results, I don't care if you turned it into a course with all the whistles and bells and videos. That doesn't matter. What I'm saying to you is if you have created a process and other people can follow that process and get results. It could be a completely finished course or program. It could be perhaps the outline of what you have taught to individuals one-on-one. It could be the outline of a group coaching program that you created. Could be maybe the agenda for a mastermind or a retreat. Basically, if you have taken your expertise and your skills and you have turned it into a process that gets predictable, repeatable, expected results for people, that is very, very valuable. Okay? So valuable, we're going to be digging into the actual value of that here in a minute. But I want you to realize that that is gold. And there are two different types of business building that we teach at the Sweet Life Company and that we can just talk about in general, right? There's selling B2C and there's selling B2B. Now, even if your buyers are actual businesses too, I want to just try to simplify this for you. You're either selling it one-off to individuals, like you're enrolling people one at a time in your launch strategy, or you're enrolling them one at a time through your webinar or whatever. That's what I call B2C. Or you are selling it in bulk, okay? And that means where you sell it one time and a bunch of people get access, rather than selling it a million times to each individual to get access. And so if you have been kind of in that individual selling place before, that's also a great place to be. Again, we work with experts, coaches, and consultants all the time to build their $1 million programs for that B to individual side. But today I want to talk to you about moving from that side to a much simpler way of selling your program or your outline, your system, your framework, or your method to businesses that have the funding to invest in the solution that you deliver. And the one amazing thing about this is that when you develop a predictable system, there are always people that want to get it from you and buy it from you. Okay, so step number one is just pause here for a minute, and I want you to think about all of the things that you have created that meet that result. So have you built a total course? Did you build a training program? Do you have a process or a method or a framework or an outline that gets people results? If you have that, you have met the criteria to move forward. Yay, you can, pass go and collect $100. Now, one of the things we want to talk about, somebody actually messaged me on social media a couple weeks ago and they said, April, how do I know if I'm ready to do this? So you need to have an established process that gets people results. And let me just be really honest with you. You have to be good at what you do. Okay, let me say that again. You need to have an established process that gets people results, and you got to be good at what you do. Licensing is not for people that are new, you're just testing your process, right? Because we're giving another company the ability to implement it. So we need to make sure it works. And a few other things like protecting your intellectual property with copyright protection and trademarking. But I'm not going to get into that in this episode. I have other episodes about that. So step number one is I want you to go through and I want you to understand the value of what you have to other companies. Step number two is let's actually dive into the value of what is valuable actually to other companies. So first of all, that blanket term, other companies, can be referred to huge corporations, big international nonprofits, small, teeny tiny little nonprofits, smaller corporations. It also refers to other companies that are just like mom and pops, agencies, tech companies, big and small. I don't care the size of the company. And in this episode, we are not going to unpack the value of selling to different size companies. Those are things that we work on with our clients and just how to price that. But just for the purpose of right now, I just want you to generally to know when I say, license your course or sell your course to other companies, it can be anything. We can be talking about universities, smaller school districts. We can talk about selling your program to companies just like you. Imagine turning your competition into your clients by giving your technical competition the ability to distribute your course to their users. And guess what? You just get to sit back and you just get to take the money for that. That's a great option, especially if you're burned out on online marketing, isn't it? So what are companies looking for? Companies are looking for content that accomplishes a couple of different results. They're looking for skills and up-leveling their teams. So let's talk about programs companies are looking for internally. So if what you do teaches a skill or teaches leveling up of awareness or knowledge, or teaches a strategy, teaches leadership, teaches communications, teaches people how to present themselves more confidently, teaches them how to increase their sales or even close sales calls, create marketing strategies. Companies are always looking to buy programs that level up their skills. As a matter of fact, I have a statistic, and I'll make sure I source this in the show notes for you. I don't have it here in my little notes for this episode, but statistics show that when a company invests $1,500 in skills training per employee, it increases their revenue by 24%. Let me say that again. When a company invests only $1,500 per employee in increasing their skills, so let's say what you teach helps a company to level up one of those skills, like closing sales deals or communicating in something internally, or understanding a process or how to implement something, or maybe even you have that system. Right? Maybe what you do delivers better SOPs and streamlined systems within a company. When a company invests $1,500 in a program on average, it increases that company's sales by on average 24%. And I will get that source code for you. I plugged it into our private client community, and I'll make sure I put it here in the show notes for you as well, so you can immediately go to that research for yourself, because it's gold. So I want you to understand that if your program is valuable to a company and levels up skills, we're talking almost direct ROI, and it's very valuable. But I also want you to know, if you have a program that might not be so tangible, let's say you work on mindset or peak performance or reducing anxiety, or your program deals with mental health or communications, or maybe it's something that is what I call a lifestyle enrichment program. So maybe what you do is teaching people to sleep better or eat better or lose weight or know how to write a book, even know how to think entrepreneurially. Okay, let me say that. There are companies out there that are looking for programs to teach their employees to think like entrepreneurs. I know it sounds a little dangerous because that employee could bolt. But what it does is it really benefits the company to help that employee lend to the creativity and the future innovation of that company. So whether you have a direct skills training, that is incredibly valuable. And if you have an intangible training that it's just confidence or lifestyle, those programs are also very valuable to companies. So that's part one. So I want you to think about, as I'm going through this, I want you to think about what's in your head. If you grab licensinglaunchpad.com, we give you a complete list of over 50 different outcomes that companies are looking for in the value to companies, and you can literally go through our list and circle which ones apply to your training, and then you know exactly what to put in your sales pitches. Now, the other thing I want you to know is that if you have a program, it can be internally facing only for the employees of the company, or we can actually, sorry about the crash there. We can actually license your program for companies to distribute to their customers. Companies aren't just looking for internal programs, they're looking for external programs that they can actually turn around and sell or add to their existing programs that they have. So take a pause here. This is step number 2, and fully understand the value of your training. It's going to be the same value that it was when you were selling your training to individuals, but now imagine the scale of having so many people within one organization have that same benefit at the same time together. I mean, that just gets me excited for them about your stuff. And it should make you really excited too. And companies are looking to invest in those results. Okay, and then the third step here is calculating the street value of what it took you to develop your program. This is really important. This is the first step before we would get into actually understanding, hey, what are we going to charge a company for this? I want you to understand what I call the street value. Okay, the street value is quantified by two different groups of numbers. I hope you guys are geeking out on this like I do. And hopefully I'm explaining it in a simple way. The first number I want you to quantify is how much did you spend to invest in building that program? Dollar amount, hard dollars, okay? Did you pay for coaching? Did you join an online coaching program or join a mastermind? Did you buy software? Did you pay to have videos recorded? Did you hire a copywriter? Did you, I don't know, download 1 million books from Audible? How much in hard dollars did you spend to develop that? How much did you pay team members? If you have a team member and you delegated things out, how much did it actually cost you to develop that training? Even if it isn't fully built out in a video training or in a course somewhere, how much in hard dollars did that cost you? So that's street value number one. Street value number two is now I want you to quantify the amount of time that it took you to be in a position so that you actually could develop it. Now, I'm not just talking about the amount of time that it actually took you from saying, I think I want to launch a course on productivity. And now I'm going to outline it. Now I'm going to build it. No. I want you to also include all of the years before that made you qualified to even create a course on productivity. So you're going to end up with two numbers. You're going to end up with hard cost numbers, and you're going to end up with this time number. Many of you that are listening to this, you guys have been in the trenches to learn your area of expertise for years, decades. We work with clients, so we actually are working on helping them to distribute their life's work. Imagine that. So you're going to end up with two numbers. And those two numbers are the amount of money you spent to invest in this and the amount of time. Most of you guys, if you continue to just sell to individuals like that B2C side, like you don't want to look at this number. Most of you guys are like, oh my gosh, it has taken me 1 million freaking years to build this, and I've only generated 50,000 on something that probably took me, $100,000 to build. I understand that. But it's really important that you quantify the street value, because we not only want to get you back the street ROI for that, right? We want to have you profit from that. Okay, and here's one more thing I'm going to leave you with, and then I'll recap those 3 steps for you. I want you to know something. I want you to know that companies don't want to spend the time and the money that it took you to develop your training. That is not a good business decision for them. That is not in their best interest. What you do, your subject matter expert genius space, is not theirs. And frankly, they usually don't want to be experts in that. That's why they are always out there constantly, right now while you're listening to this, looking for programs to buy like yours to fix that problem, because they don't have the time or the money, and they don't care enough about building it. They're not going to try to rip off your course. They just want to buy it so they can be better from it. And I want you to understand that mindset shift, okay? They need your training. They need your methods. They need your frameworks, because they know that it's probably not their primary area of expertise, and they only care about the end result solution that you are going to provide, whether that's to their employees or whether it's to their customers, and whether it is a hard skill result where we can measure ROI, or whether it is more of an intangible that increases confidence, or something that is more of a lifestyle result. These things are very valuable to companies. And licensing has been around forever, you guys. This isn't new. This isn't a new concept. What's different about this is that nobody out there, except for us, so we understand, is actually teaching you how to license your trainings and your courses and your programs and package them with your intellectual property in a way that is going to help you scale your business, and is good for you and it's good for the company. And so that's what I want you to wrap your head around today. So in conclusion, I promised you today I was going to tell you how to take and how to sell your $999 course for $1 million, or sell your $99 course for $9,000. We don't change the course. we change the buyer. So let me say that again. To sell your $99 course for $99,000, we don't change the course, we change the buyer. And I want you to sit with that for a minute, and I want you to know that it is a very simple process and it's not as hard as you think. And today we talked about the 3 steps to actually start doing this. The first one is doing an inventory, figuring out what you have that's ready to go, and knowing it doesn't have to be a finalized training program or product. It can be a framework or a method or a system, SOPs, processes that you've delivered. Number 2, what is the value of that to companies? Definitely, I can't emphasize it enough, go grab licensing launchpad training. I'm giving you a complete database of the value in programs that companies are buying right now. And then on top of that, this is going to blow your mind. It's seriously, I can't even believe we're giving this away with it. On top of that, we're giving you a list of what the top 10 industries are buying right now in programs. We break it down from agencies to small businesses to education to government to huge corporations, just so on and so forth. There's 10 different industries. This list was created by our experts that come in, our sales experts that work with our clients. It is absolutely mind-blowing, and I'm giving you that list totally for free. So, if you download Licensing Launchpad by April 30th, 2023, otherwise you need to go grab it, and it's going to be a really small price. It's going to be worth your time. So I want you to understand the value, and I want you to know what companies are buying. And then the last thing we talked about is calculating the actual street value of what it took you to develop this program. It's incredibly important for you to know that, because that is the baseline of where we start your pricing to generate a return on your investment, both in time and tangible dollars. This is much more simple than it seems, and it is a super big secret that our mission is to let as many established experts know that this is possible and this is waiting for you to do. And it's actually quite simple. In all of your years of genius and all of your time developing your programs, we can quite simply pivot you by changing who you're selling it to. We don't have to change the program, we change the buyer. And that's what we're talking about here today. So thanks for hanging out with me. I had actually planned on having this be a very short episode, but I went longer because I elaborated more than expected. Go figure. I tend to do that. But I love hanging out with you. I love teaching on this, and I love introducing and opening up these concepts for you. If you have any questions at all, or if you want to get started on this, do cruise over to licensinglaunchpad.com. It's the first step in this process. It's an amazing, powerful training that we have on tap for you. Or you can just cruise over to sweetlifeco.com, and you can apply to work with us, and we'll give you all the contracts. We'll give you all the templates. We'll give you all this and get you on your way to start licensing your amazing program out there. And frankly, probably finally recuperating some of the ROI value that it took you to develop it. So it's awesome. We're excited. We're excited to introduce this to you. I've done this personally myself. Oh gosh, it's been 14 years. I've licensed my courses, and I can't wait to talk to you more about doing it as well. Subscribe to this show. Please share this show. Hang out with me on our new YouTube channel. Comment on YouTube if you're watching video behind the scenes and hanging out here with me at the beach house. And again, all of the show notes are at sweetlifeco.com. You can cruise over to the podcast. This is episode number 285. And of course, don't forget to go grab licensinglaunchpad.com. You will be so super glad you did. I'm glad you're here, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye for now.